You're Superb, back with another video. Just got out of watching The Conjuring 3, or better yet known as The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, which I really like that title, by the way. Very different for what seems to be, you know, the completed trilogy. As for the first trilogy, I feel like, because I definitely think there's going to be more Conjuring movies in the future. This movie left a lot on the table, no pun intended. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Um, yeah. So hit that like button, subscribe if this is the first time you're checking out one of my movie reviews. I got a whole playlist in the description. You can check out all my movie reviews. So, that being said, let's get into it, because I've heard a lot of interesting things. I didn't really dive too much into people's reviews, and I was just looking at headlines. Some people say it's the weaker installment out of the three. Me, I walked out of this movie really enjoying this, because I feel like even though this is not a James Wan directed Conjuring movie, I think the heart and soul is still there. What made the first Conjuring hit so well, and I think going into this, it already has kind of high expectations. If you are a Conjuring fan, like if you like this whole Conjuring universe that they've been building. I know a lot of people don't like the spin-offs. I have them as guilty pleasures. I like the second Annabelle. I think that's the best spin-off out of all of them so far. The Nun was Speaking of which, so this movie kind of picks up in 81. We're back in the States. The second one, that took place overseas, somewhere in London, I think, or something like that. And we're back with Ed and Lorraine Warren. They have a new case, and I really like this movie. Shows a lot of flaws in their characters and how dire the situations are. They're dealing with this case with this 8-year-old boy, and it seems like he's being possessed, but there's a lot more to it than just that. As we get introduced to the character that we kind of focus on the most is Artie. He kind of takes it upon himself to invite this demon into him to get it away from this little kid, because he's dating his sister. So obviously that's going to give him some brownie points. Really likes this chick, really likes their family and whatnot. So he kind of takes on this demon, and it ends up being this curse. Now this is where things start to get interesting, because while Artie is up on death row, he's looking at he's looking at the chair at this point. Lorraine and Ed Warren are trying to kind of combat that in court, where they can kind of convince the court system that no, this was not him, this was a demonic possession. So that was pretty interesting. There's so many different layers to this, because they start to introduce Satanists in this movie as well. It's not just demons. In the second movie, it was like a demon controlling a spirit that was messing with people and stuff like that. But that nun, I forget the name of it, Malik or something like that, has nothing on this Satanist, because I really like what they do with this character. I don't think they ever mentioned her name. It's literally on IMDb as the occultist. I had to look that up real fast. Really interesting techniques that this villain, the big bad of this film, kind of uses, and how she's able to manipulate one person there and another person here and another person there. I really like that. It was really interesting the way that they kind of set that up. It's a lot of build up in the beginning, so I could see some people not being that invested in the overall story because of the pacing. The pacing could be an issue for some people. I could see that. But for me, I thought it was pretty layered. It was layered out pretty well, in my opinion. Even though, yeah, you could shaved off like 15 minutes and kind of like got to the point with certain scenes. I do like that we get more involvement and more personal with Ed and Lorraine with their, this whole love story and how their love kind of conquers evil. It's very generic. You could say the ending is a little anticlimactic. I could definitely can see people being disappointed with that. I just like the whole doubling down of showing exactly how Lorraine's like powers or her ability works. I really like the use of that in here. Overall, I think this is a decent sequel or continuation of The Conjuring. I would like to see them kind of explore the past a little bit of Ed and Lorraine. Like, let's see their first case, or how they kind of met, expand into television, you know what I'm saying? Do some more spin-offs, because I definitely would like to see where they could take that. Yeah, man, so let me know how you guys feel about this, if you've seen it, or if you haven't seen it, do you have any plans on watching it? Till next time, I'm out.